Maverick 100.9 Aggie Lands Country Alternative. It's Corliss, and I get to chat today with Chad Miller of Chad Miller and the Good Fortune. Chad, first question is,
Yes, ma'am.
are you having any good fortune so far this year?
Man, so we just got off this crazy radio tour last week, and it was probably the hardest but most rewarding week in my music career yet. It was a blast. It was like 11 stations and 7 gigs and like 2,800 miles in 7 days, and so we had a lot of radio stations that we made really good friends at that are play our music for us, and we had somehow we booked gigs all along the way, and we had a weird pop up gig in Lukenbach show up, so we got to play in Lukenbach, which was really cool. So it's been I would say I've had some good fortune this year.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Heck,
Yeah,
you've even been to College Station, and unfortunately, we missed each other,
yeah,
but you were over there playing at Stampede. And
yeah. We played there once, and then the second time we had to reschedule that when our drummer's about to have twins, and so his wife got put on bed rest. So he couldn't quite leave town, at that
yeah,
time. So, but I think we've got some dates coming up in the area in March or April that we'll be sure and let you know about.
heck yeah, we're going to be chatting with Chad Miller a lot this year. I am sure of it. But first on the docket is you've brought us a brand new single called Looking Back. Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
Well, it's our brand new single. It was kind of written in a weird way. They don't always happen this way, but we were playing in Fort Worth Stockyards one night, and we got done with sound check, and we were walking around, and we walked into this little cowboy memorabilia store, and it had a book that was full of John Wayne stuff, and so I opened it up, and the first page I opened to was a quote by John Wayne that says, "Looking back is a bad habit, John Wayne." And so I was like, man, that needs to be a song. So I took a picture of it and kept it in my phone for a while and kind of put some lyrics around it that I thought might work. And I think 2 weeks later we were in Amarillo. Same thing, just finished a sound check. Our lead guitarist Thomas Walker had his guitar out and he said, "Hey, I've got this chord progression that I've been writing. What do you think?" And I was like, "Man, I think I got some words that'll go with it." And so we put that song in a sound check. It wrote itself in about 15 minutes, and then that's other than a few slight modifications, that's what the single turned out to be. So they don't all happen that way, but this one was fun.
No, they don't. But it doesn't make them any less special. As a matter of fact, I think when they fall out of you like that, it's probably a little bit more of a special feeling.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. They feel more like divine intervention than hard work sometimes. If that makes sense.
Boy, I could use some divine intervention today.
Yeah.
So I hope you're giving it to me, but we're going to give it to the listeners here at Maverick 100.9. It is Chad Miller and the Good Fortune. And looking back, due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can now find it anywhere that you stream and download music. And today's interview continues now. Maverick 100.9, you heard it here first. Looking back, Chad Miller and the Good Fortune. I am joined by Chad, and I know your year is already off to a great start, but I wanted to talk a little bit about your past.
Yeah.
You've got a full library of music out there for everyone to hear. I know it seems like you're just a tad bit new to at least us, but really you've been working at this for quite some time.
Yeah, I've been playing guitar since I was about 10. Whenever we put this band together, I'd had kind of a small catalog of songs that we needed to get recorded, and so we did that. And our original release date for our first album was March 20th of 2020, which is like the week the world, imploded. So we pulled it and we waited, and I just told the guys, "Hey, 2 weeks. That's all they're saying. We'll put it back out in a couple of weeks, and then everybody knows how that kind of went. So
I will never
yeah,
forget that. 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and that didn't happen. And so we kind of held on to it till about July 2020, and then we said we worked too hard on it and we wanted it out there, so we put it out. And so we've got a full album of really good songs out there that probably didn't get the push they all deserved, but we had some local guys, some radio stations in our area that really were really sweet to us and played our songs a lot. So
The
the guys in Lubbock and Amarillo were really good to us in the Panhandle, and so we've got a good core demographic here in the Panhandle, but to everybody that we're kind of new to, which is in the Hill Country in South and East Texas, they're kind of our target this year. We're going to try and spread the good fortune as far as wide as we can, I guess.
exactly. That's the way to do it. As a matter of fact, I love that name in general, and I probably shouldn't be taking side roads here, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten the chance to ask you before where that name came from.
So when we put that first band together, we lined up some gigs and we were going to start playing. We didn't have a name yet, and I didn't want it to just be the Chad Miller Band or whatever. So we were sitting around talking, trying to come up with a name, and sometimes that can be the hardest part of the whole process, is trying to figure out who you are. And so I just said something off the cuff. I said, well, the goal is that, hopefully we're good enough where people like us and they say that they've had the good fortune of listening to us, and they can go, help spread us around. And Joey said, my drummer gets, "Hey, say that again." And I said it again, and we're like, okay, that's what it is. So
The good fortune. Oh, how cool. I never knew that story. Maybe I just thought everybody in your band was lucky. I'm like, I'm
well,
more
a
of
bunch of us got some red beards and some Irish heritage. So yeah, it might
that
be
could
maybe
do
like the
it.
Irish going on.
That is my husband to a T, my big ginger love.
Yeah.
Whereas he married someone who is literally Murphy's Law. Like,
absolutely.
If it can go wrong, it will. And
absolutely.
But I'm also the type of person that goes at it with the best attitude that I possibly can, and
absolutely.
B, I do have my nice little good fortune husband that can kind of
absolutely
help me navigate the muddy waters for sure.
Well, having a positive attitude is 90% of the battle. So
it really is.
Yeah.
But even with that music hanging around here and the good fortune being out for quite some time, you did mention there's quite a bit on the way for this year now.
Yeah, I think we've got 4 or 5 more singles in the pipe, so we're going to keep our radio team, Jen and Ray. They're the best in the world to me. I love those guys. They're fantastic people, and they've really done a great job for us. And so we're going to try to keep them as busy as we can this year.
And that's all directed straight to radio. That's all radio singles you're talking about.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to put out individual radio singles, and the goal behind that is to make friends with people like you and get grow our audience in the places that we play. Like if we come to College Station, we want people to have heard of us, and so next time we play at the Stampede, we want people to say, hey, these are the guys that Corliss was talking about, and now they're in town. Let's go check them out. So
exactly, that's always my goal too.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that. No, I do hope that we get to see and hear more of you this year. So we'll be checking in with Chad Miller quite some time, and I'm ready to meet the band. And
they're all right.
They are right. And some of them are family members. Is that correct?
Yeah, my younger brother is our drummer. He's the one that's about to have twins. So we're going to do a little bit of acoustic stuff for the next about month or so, and then we're hitting the road hard once he gets kind of in a routine. So
great. Well, we are definitely going to be thinking of him.
Yeah,
and
he's going to need it.
And his darling wife. They are going to need all of our hopes, our prayers, whatever good vibes that you could send there, whatever good fortune you could send their way. They need it. Hey. Yeah. I can be witty every once in a while. Mostly whatever comes out is just bleh. Yeah. Well, good. Well, we're going to keep an eye on the music. Chad Miller and the Good Fortune. Go find them now and keep it here to Maverick to hear all of their updates, but always follow. And Chad, it has just been wonderful getting to catch up with you here on Maverick.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having us, and can't wait to come back down, and maybe we'll see you in studio soon.